So one of the final steps after updating our tone shapes and our firmware, if that was needed, you can check the presets, pick any of them, and just scroll down or up and see if you have 23. There are 23 of them in there. You got the latest ones. The factory shapes are number 1 through 10. Shapes 11 through 16 are Russ Miller's signature shapes. They tend to be a little darker and a little warmer, but they tend to be a little bit lower in volume as well, just because they're a little darker. 17 through 23, those are the Simon Edgoose shapes. They tend to be very bright and very cutting and in your face and very present. So it's a good contrast. The factory shapes are pretty neutral. The Russ Miller shapes on 11 through 16 are very dark and very warm. And Simon's shapes on 17 to 23 are very bright and very cutting for more electronic style of music. Alright, after the tone shapes are updated, one of the cool tricks I do in the store is I use the preset kit mode. What that is every single one of these presets will change with just the use of the preset number 5's rocker switch. How to get in that mode, I press and hold preset 5, and what happens is preset 5 still stays lit brightly, but presets 1 through 4 darken. So I can go down and I can change them all at once. The cool thing with this is if I ever needed to make a kit, like say I like, on the ride I like number 15. I press and hold that button, it will start to flash, and I can make a new selection. Then I press and hold, and now that is in my preset kit number 11. We have 99 preset slots for each input on the DCP. So that's a lot of kits that you can make and a lot of customization. But again, for a simple demo, press and hold preset number 5, and they'll put you in preset kit mode, and they'll be a lot easier for anyone in the store to display the unit when all the shapes change at once. Now here's the training section of this video. These are going to be key bullet points you can tell the store guys so they can pitch the product correctly. I'm going to start with the cymbal first. First thing I like to do is I'll play an acoustic cymbal. I have an 18-inch medium thin here. You can pick any acoustic cymbal. It's the same size as the cymbal on the Gen 16 setup. So I'm going to hit this one first. That's pretty loud. That sounds like an acoustic crash we're all used to hearing. Then I'm going to play the Gen 16 buff bronze cymbal. Now there's a huge difference in sound. It's about 60 to 70% quieter than an acoustic cymbal. And how we did this is on the Gen 16 cymbals, there's about 4,000 holes in the cymbal. They vary in size and shape, and the pattern varies a little bit. And what that does is it makes a musical sound with a lot less volume. That was the key principle on this cymbal, is to make it lower but still sound like a cymbal. So you still get your bell, you get your bow, and you get your edge. Now a couple things that we've done differently on the buff bronze series versus the older nickel style cymbals is materials are the same underneath. It's still a B8 cymbal. This is just for you guys to know. It's still that cymbal material. They took the finish off. All the nickel plating's gone. On the larger 18 and 20 inch cymbals, the bell was reduced quite a bit to bring the pitch down, since the cup or bell size really determines how much high end you're going to get. Also, there's some lathing done on the cymbal as well to make it a little bit thinner, a little bit more lower pitch. Again, just to warm it up, make it more drummer friendly. Now these come in a bunch of sizes: 13-inch hi-hat, 14-inch hi-hat, 16-inch crash, 16-inch china, 20-inch ride, and a 12-inch splash. They're all available separately without the electronics, and there's also a couple box sets that we have in a couple configurations. The Guitar Center one that you're visiting at the store there, they're going to have a 14 and 18 setup. That's their box set. The other box sets are a 13-18 setup, a 13-16-18 setup, and a 14, 18, 20 setup. And those box sets all come with the cables, the DCP, the DS pickups, and everything you really need. Alright guys, so now I'm going to talk about the DS pickup, or the direct source pickup. What is it? Well, essentially it's a piezo ceramic accelerometer contact style mic system. What it's doing is you're hooking up the sensor to the cymbal, and it's only picking up the vibrations of the cymbal. If I hit the cymbal stand with the stick, nothing gets picked up, it doesn't bleed, there's no crosstalk. That's really good for that. The second part of that system is it's the preamp. Now the preamp does a couple things. You have some lighting controls underneath with a big toggle button, a joystick and toggle. Changes the light pattern. And then I can change the colors. There's 11 colors you can change. That's very fun for a store display. It attracts a lot of attention. You can even change the strike color if you go the opposite way on the joystick, in towards the tilter. It'll give you more color options. So when you strike the cymbal, it turned blue. If I switch it again, I have a green one. So you have multiple color combinations that you can do with different patterns. Also underneath there's a pad switch. Some places you'll actually need to turn that on. What that does is it ducks the signal down about 6 to 10 dB, so it's a lot quieter. If you got a really heavy hitter, it tends to help quite a bit so it doesn't overload the preamp. That's the direct source pickup with the sensor and the preamp. It's a very, very cool system and very unique. So now I'm going to talk about the DCP, the Digital Symbol Processor. Yes, that's a lot of letters and a funny acronym. What it does is essentially it's a giant DSP box, digital signal processing box, that you can alter your cymbal sounds. On the box itself, you got the presets, pretty easy. You got some pan controls, so you can pan your cymbals left and right if you're running stereo. You have some volume pots to essentially adjust the gain or the input level of the cymbal. We got a master out level. We got a mix level. And what that does is it's blending. If you're bringing in another input in the back, you can blend that with the signal that's in the box. You got your reverb return. So essentially it's got again some DSP, some reverb in it, and you can figure out how much signal's coming back from the reverb processor to your liking. Then you got your headphone out. On the back of the unit, we have our inputs, 5 inputs, hi-hat, ride, cymbal 3, cymbal 4, cymbal 5. We got our USB port, power plug, drum input or aux input, because you can plug more things than just electronic drum kits into it. You can plug in another signal if you're monitoring it. And then you got your main outs, and then your power switch that has 2 sections. The middle one still stays on, but it turns the lights off on the DS pickups. So a lot of people like having them off. A lot of churches tend to not want to have the lights. That's how you shut them off. Just put them in the middle position. If you want to be fancy, turn them on. On the front panel, we have another auxiliary input. Usually you use this for your iPhone, MP3 player, or anything you really want to play to. And then you got your headphone that you can use.